I'm just going to send it over to the media to go. Let's just like one question per person. Sorry, we got to go.
You're good.
What did you do? Did you have any memorabilia that you saved?
Oh, yes. Golf ball, and then I've got the my score that I wrote down on the other scorecard. You know, you write your own score on the other competitor's scorecard. So I have that little tab. Those two things. I'm going to be framing that.
Bryson, earlier today, we spoke to Sergio, and he said that the most impressive thing to him was that you shot 61 prior to 58. So you've got to be the only person ever to average less than 60 for 2 rounds. So what was it like?
And win, I think.
And what was it like to be in that kind of bubble compared to your past experience?
Oh, I don't even understand it still, first off, because I don't know if it's ever been done, I think. I can't remember a time where anybody did that, but it was a weird frame of mind. It was more of, I shot 61 and I'm like, oh, that was cake. Didn't feel like it was that difficult. I feel like I can do the same thing the next day. And obviously you got to make putts and bad breaks can happen and whatnot, but a perfect scenario of I really didn't get unlucky and I hit every shot the way and that lined up for the 2 days.
Storm.
Literally a perfect storm. That's obviously why nobody has done it. You have to have a perfect storm to have it happen. So.
In relation to that a little bit, what do you, when you come to an event a week, less than a week after doing that, what's your mindset this week? I mean, obviously you have 57 probably.
Yeah, 54 for that 54 million. So no, I'm kidding.
But how do you? Because it's as everybody knows, it's hard to back up one good round to the next. But how do you back up such a crazy tournament like that?
Yeah.
Another tournament?
I mean, look, this is a different golf course. This is a beast of a golf course. This is a major championship venue. I feel like. The way the golf course is set up in regards to the rough and the tightness of fairways. So I don't know if in the 50s is going to be possible this week. I mean, it's definitely possible, but I don't think anybody's going to do it. You just got to focus on the process. There's not much more to it. I mean, you can't go out there and expect to shoot something low. It's more of I got to hit this next shot to the best of my ability and continue to add it up over the course of each and every hole. And that's what I did on Sunday. I was like, just next shot the best I possibly can. 16, striped it, had a little wedge shot up there. I'm like, even that little wedge shot, I got to hit this the best I possibly can. And then made the putt after that. It's a continual snowball of process and keep doing what you can.
Okay, over there.
Bryson, with any new league is always trying to get traction, and you guys have had plenty of exposure, winning at majors and all that. What do you think shooting a 58 does for the league in that regard, just as far as the more eyeballs and the more attention it gets to it?
Well, I can certainly tell you that considering that was a PGA Tour course and shooting 58 and 59 has been had on it before, we're clearly not exhibition golfers.
Bryson, you have the new driver in the bag. You alluded to the fact that you don't really have to practice it as much anymore. Do you think that there is an argument there that clubs are becoming a little bit too forgiving in a way?
We could be here for half
I
hour
plead
now.
Well, for 5 years I didn't have the right equipment, so that shows you how important equipment is. And I think we're in a place now in time where contracts aren't as necessarily as important as the purse you're playing for.
Equipment contracts.
Equipment contracts is what I mean. Yeah, thank you. It's not as important as the purse you're playing for, and I really think the best equipment's going to start showing itself over the course of time because of that. And I think it's a great thing for the game of golf. We want, as professionals, to provide the best equipment possible for the public, as well as professionals. We don't want to just lock ourselves into one side of the market. We don't want to build just a club for us, nor for the average golfer. We want equipment to work for everyone, and that's what I think is so beautiful about the game is keeping it the same across all ends is super important. So in regards to the forgiveness, you can say that, but it's just if you get the right physics going, you can get some special stuff happening in clubs. I'm not going to speak about.
Evan.
Bryson, do you think last week you made a realistic argument to be on the Ryder Cup? And if so, what is the argument to be made to Zach?
Can someone ask a question to Bond, please?
No, I'm here to correct him. And
thank you.
Don't worry. I'm right here.
When Bryson has to go to his meeting, we'll shift it to an on
Perfect. There we go. That's perfect, actually. Look, I played in a couple Ryder Cups, and I would love to represent my country There's no doubt about that. I feel like I'm in a good place to be able to do that. I feel like I'm a top 10 player for sure right now with the game that I'm playing. And if I do get picked, fantastic. If I don't, I'll still be watching on TV and rooting for Team USA because I respect and appreciate those players that are on the team representing our country more than a PGA Tour LIV thing. Oh, 1,000%. Not even a question. Well, again, one, the equipment is performing really nicely for me. I feel like I can go out there and just play golf rather than golf swing or what do I need to do here to save for if I hit it on this part of the face or whatever. But I also feel like my mental game is in a different place because of the equipment. I feel like I'm just a brute. I just, boom, right down the fairway, wedge it on the green, right down the fairway, wedge it on the green. It's just more of a determined, focused mentality that I have with this new equipment. It's really the equipment, to be honest. So it is different. And that's what makes me feel like I'm back in 2015 when I was playing the U.S. Amateur and shooting 6 under every time at Olympia Fields. That's kind of what I feel like right now.
Alan?
Okay. Sure. Thanks, man.
Obviously, a lot of talk about the framework agreement. A lot is still to be decided if it even happens. Phil has said point blank he doesn't think any LIV players are interested in playing on the PGA Tour should an agreement come about. I'd love to hear both of your thoughts on the general sentiment out here. Do you think players are even interested in going back and playing should that opportunity become available?
I don't think Phil is too far off the point with his comments. Obviously, it's individual to individual. There's 48 people here. There's at least, if I'm not mistaken, close to 30 of us who are fully exempt when we left or still in some, category or the other. But I think it all comes down to each individual. Everybody had different motivations for coming over. I can speak for myself. And I probably would not go back. And even if I did, I'd probably want to just play 2 or 3 events. And, if I was to flip the coin and be on the other side of the ropes, I can't see how that flies with the membership on the other side either. So, I honestly feel that there's so much conjecture, so much guessing, so much, this is what I think. I think everybody just needs to pump their brakes. Whatever happens. We're here playing LIV, enjoying it thoroughly, loving the team aspect, obviously making history, breaking new ground and creating a brand new golf product which is gaining momentum. And I'm enjoying being a part of this and looking forward to doing this for many, many, seasons. Whether PGA Tour fits into that plan, I don't know. But this is plan A. All of us have moved here with this being our primary place of, practicing our profession. So when and if and what happens, nobody really knows. But I think most of us are really happy here.
Those are wise words from Bon, and I can't speak any more on that.
That's why I'm on the team, by the way.
Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. I know a lot of players don't want it to happen. I know some players that know it needs to happen. From my perspective, I'm incredibly content having a team to rely on and play for and be a part of. I'm really enjoying that process. And like you said, this is plan A, and I'm not thinking about any other plans as of right now. Would it be fun to go play a couple events over there? Sure. There's a lot of places and people I respect over there that I'd love to give my blood, sweat, and tears for. They just haven't made that possible yet. So it'll figure itself out in the future, but as of right now, what Bon said is absolutely true.
Okay, Adam?
Bryson, you've been real active since you joined LIV with your team. You've done a lot. I'm curious, how have you seen the league grow over your time here with LIV, and then what would you like to see change going forward as LIV continues to adapt and develop?
Well, I think the impact that we have, the people are starting to see from Adelaide, $100 million in economic impact is gigantic, and this is only the beginning. There's been a lot of headwinds, a lot of difficulties, but there's also been a lot of positives, man. People don't talk enough about the positive impact we're making, not only in each other's lives, but in the community's lives, and what we did today with Hope through education. It's just another telltale sign that this isn't going anywhere, and we're continuing to make positive impacts across the globe in a really cool, special way. And this is the tip of the iceberg. From a franchise perspective, we're talking about building academies, and that bee is going to sting you okay, careful. We're talking about, academies, even golf courses, community impacts in certain areas, depending on where our home bases, our home regions are. India, I mean, that's a huge untapped market that I think could economically, socially impact massively from the game of golf. It's just untapped potential, and we're unleashing that here.
What do you see change? Anything? Any updates, improvements?
There's always going to be change and improvements. I think it's really cool to see that a lot of players have input, and will continue to have input. It doesn't mean we're always sitting at the table, but we're continually giving input that we think is best for not only the game of golf, but and not only for the teams, but for the communities and what we're doing in those local areas. So.
Okay, last one for Bryson. I am going to have you stick on. Okay,
Sure, no worries.
CCA. Go for it.
This one's actually for Mr. Lahiri.
I like that.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure you heard what Jim Furyk said about Bryson's 58.
Actually, I didn't. Why did you tell me?
He said that at least his counted.
Yeah.
Who do you think would win in a fight between those two?
So I'll give you another story. Once when I was 16, I was with my coach, who I've been with for 22 years. He never played professional golf. And there was another coach in that golf club who played pro golf. And a member came and asked me, who do you think would beat the other guy if your coaches played golf? Well, they're coaching, they're not fighting each other. So it didn't really matter as long as I beat his student. So I think it's very easy to sit in an armchair and feel a certain way about it. I have huge respect for Jim. I love him. His round made a huge impact for LIV, made a huge impact to the team, made a huge impact in the world of golf, where people sat up and said, oh my God, this guy just did something ridiculous this weekend. So, I think we'll let the ripple effect speak for the difference it makes in golf. And I still remember when Jim shot 58, it was unbelievable. I think anybody shooting a score like that in golf is good for the game.
But who would win in a fight?
Are you coaching? So you know what? I just want golf to win, man. I respect people's opinions, but I wouldn't fight I would not fight my captain.
Bryson, who do you think would win in that fight?
It'd be
Jim in his prime.
It'd be a tough go. He's got some lankiness to him. So that golf swing of his, he's got a lot of mobility. So I got to watch out for a quick little right hook. But I'll be working on that and focusing on that.
Cheers. Thank you. Good luck this week.
On that note, Bryson, you have had the most insane whirlwind last 48 hours. Thank you for still committing and coming out and following up on your, commitment to come out and spend time with the kids and spend time with the media.
That's what it's about.
We are all very, very grateful. I know it's been crazy for you. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
Enjoy the rest of the week away from the craziness I put you through.
I hope to see you guys every day.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He loves
Bye,
media.
Oh, there you go.
Am I good to go, guys?
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
And I don't know if Mike is still here. Mike, please. Oh, Mike. Okay.
Yeah. All
I'll
right.
start. Oh, go for it.
Just following up the same question I asked Bryson. How have you seen LIV grow?
I mean, it's incredible, man. Just look at I didn't start at Bedminster, so this is my first time here. But I mean, you just wind the clock back 13 and a half months. That's the age of LIV Golf. And you see the impact it's made in golf. We were the outcast, black sheep, disruptors. We were labeled 1,000 different things. A lot of it was unfair, but you see the positive change it's brought in the world of professional golf. And when you look back another year, 2 or 3 years from now, everybody's gonna turn around and say, "My God, can you imagine if LIV Golf never happened?" So I think it's the best thing that's happened for pro golf. I think it's the best thing that will happen to golf for a while to come.
Go ahead, Gabby.
You mentioned earlier that if you were on the other side of the ropes, if you did for a player, you would understand how they're upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you talked to your peers?
I have a lot of friends there. I do. I send congratulatory messages and I exchange texts whenever one of my buddies plays well. Among the players, it's really it's super friendly. There's no hate. There's no animosity, unlike what it was made out to be in the media. And I think a lot of folks on the other side are understandably upset because of the lack of transparency, I don't need to go down that road. Everybody's seen what's been happening. So, when you tell your membership that we're going to do certain things and then you go back on it, I mean, if they were to just open the gates and allow us to come and play whatever we wanted to play, that would be another thing that'd be going back on. So if I'm a member of the PGA Tour, obviously I'm not going to be down for it because I've made a commitment or I've made some decisions based on what I'm being told. So I'm just, just flipping the coin and saying if I was on the other side, I wouldn't be happy about it. And a lot of people aren't. That's just how it is. Like, if you were to say, oh, you know what, starting next year, anyone who makes it to a tour championship is automatically on LIV, you think I'd be happy about it? No, right? So it works both ways. We're only talking about us going there. What happens when they come here? It has to be, it has to be done in a manner where there's balance. You can't just flip it and make it so, disbalanced that it makes no sense. So to that extent, and I've been saying from day one, both types of golf, both tours, both concepts can coexist side by side. It's not necessarily, one or the other. And there's room. So, therein lies the answer to your solution.
Yeah, go for it, Al.
So when LIV came onto the scene, it was sort of this, brand new, scrappy is probably not the right word because it was so well funded, but definitely a disruptor, right? Something totally different. And there was this intense rivalry with the PGA Tour. Now that that's started to dissipate and there's a little bit of a chord here, you think in some way that sort of diminishes LIV's appeal to the mass audience?
Diminishes? No, I think it's the other way around. I think it's exactly the other way around. And I don't think this was ever about 54 holes. I don't think it was ever about what we're doing here. It was about one organization being threatened by competition. That's what it was all about from day one. What's happening right now is finding middle ground so both can coexist, which is great. What happens of it, I don't know. That's outside of my purview. But I think a lot of people are going to get over the prejudice. They're going to get over the the colored glass that was put in front of them to view LIV Golf. So I think it actually opens it up to a lot of people who were blindsided by opinion that wasn't true. So I think it's the other way around.
Yeah. And a lot of them made the lack of transparency on the PGA Tour side as this was happening. On your end, how much communication was happening, if at all?
Well, the whole, whatever's happened so far, like I said, it's outside of my purview. Everybody asks me that question. That's a commonly asked question. And they say, all right, what do you think about what's going on? And I just say I need to go make as many birdies as I can. Because essentially that's the only thing I can control. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to be the best golfer I can be. I'm not here for the politics. I'm here because I believe in this. And I believe in this because, and I said this before, I've come from a country where another sport, cricket for instance, which has multiple formats. I've seen how multiple formats can be super successful in tapping into different markets, different demographics, which is one of the ideas with which LIV was formed. So it was easy for me to get on board. What other people saw as, it is disruptive. What other people saw as non-conventional, I saw as innovative. Because I've actually seen it happen in another sport. And I've seen the appeal grow. And actually one format overtake the other format, which has happened in cricket. So I have a huge belief in what we're doing here. So, for me, it's like I'm here, this is why I'm here, and I'm a part of something that's potentially going to revolutionize or change golf 10 years from now. So I just keep my head down and do what I need to do. Simple.
Did you guys have any? No? Bon, I've got two for you.
Sure.
First one, sorry to go back to the 58 again, but I haven't had a chance to talk to any of the crushers yet.
We love talking about 58.
Yeah, so can you just take us back to the moment, I think you were in scoring?
Yeah, I felt terrible for not being there to just blind him with champagne, as Paul described it to me. He said, I got it right in the eye. I'm like, damn it. And but it was wild, man. I was in scoring, and there was about 8 or 9 of us in there. And we all went, oh my, there was that moment of, holy crap, this is actually, that actually went in. Like, we're like, oh, he's just got a 2-putt. He's just got a 2-putt. Nobody's even thinking about 58, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're like, because the 59 is the magic number, really.
Yeah.
58's just, is a unicorn. It's a myth. And then when that goes in, everybody in scoring goes berserk. I'm like, where the hell is my cart? I need to get to 18. And you know, it was wild. Like listening to all the different accounts. There were so many caddies and players in the players' lounge that was overlooking the 18th green. Some were looking at the TV. Some were looking out the window. And you know, I was talking to someone just the other day. It's like, as he got over the putt, every single person, staff, family, player, caddy, bartender, everybody's on their feet, like just looking at the TV. As the ball goes in, the entire players' lounge is just jumping. Everyone's high-fiving each. I mean, these are the other 46 guys who he just whooped, celebrating someone who just made a bomb for a 58. Like, that would never, ever happen on any other tour, on any other platform. And that's what we're doing here, you know. I mean, that's the beauty of it. People don't get it like, team golf, yeah, whatever. It's a fad. It's this, is that. But when you're in there and you're a part of this, that's why it's so special. Like, I don't know when that's going to happen again.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Were you aware during the day at all? Did you have a chance to glance at the leaderboard and kind of see the scores Bryson was putting up?
Yeah.
Were you thinking, man, Bryson's got a shot at 59 today?
Well, I've played LIV now nearly a year, so I'm very good at scoreboard watching on Sundays.
Yeah.
Because you have to. It moves quick, you know. Like, two guys make birdie, one guy makes bogey. You go from 3 back to, 4 ahead to 3 back again. So there's a lot of scoreboard watching, and I knew he got off the blocks super hot. And then he was just in a zone, man. Like, I was talking to DeChambeau, and DeChambeau's like, his eyes were glazed. He holed out from behind the green on 5, and he just walked up to DeChambeau, gave him the wedge, and walked. And DeChambeau's like, this guy is just on a different planet right now. And when that happens, crazy stuff happens, And he was in there for 48 hours straight. I think that's what is the most ridiculous part about it. People get into the zone and then they get out of it. But he was in there for like 2 straight days, man. That's wild.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch for sure. Last question I have for you. So Mike actually asked Sergio earlier today if he thought that Torque and 4 Aces were the ones to beat this season. We've only got 3 regular season events left, and he said that the Crushers were the ones.
Well, that's because he played on the weekend with me, and he obviously knows the damage I bring to the team. But no, I mean, we started the year off hot. We were riding Chucky's coattails. Charles played lights out to begin. And I think Bryson's just over the last 2.5 months, I think starting Tulsa. I think Tulsa was the first time he had a top 5 in a long time. And I think after Singapore was the lowest he had been feeling with his game. And then he started, moving back up. And now he's like a freight train.
Yeah.
So, we're just going to ideally just ride his coattails. And that, but that's what team golf is about. You need one guy to go super hot or 2 guys to play really well, and then you want the other 2 guys to have those performances that pick the team up. And I think just the kind of team we have, especially this week, for instance, a tough golf course. This is perfect for us, because we've got 4 really good ball strikers on the team. And as the season boils down, you look at Chicago, similar golf course. Jeddah, of course, you need to make birdies. So, we're excited, obviously, about Bryson. But as a team, we're really G'd up to, have a hot finish.
And after that devastating loss in the playoff last year, where you guys narrowly missed your window to proceed to the next level, does that give a little bit of extra motivation going into Miami this year? I mean,
the 4 Aces were outstanding. They have been, for a while. But I think in terms of consistency, we were as good, if not, a little bit better. We just didn't get over the line as much, especially last season. I think this season we kind of cooled off a little bit after getting off to a good start. And I think all of us are now trending back into form. Paul's had some issues with injury, but now he's trending again. So I think for us just to get that momentum going, I definitely feel there's a lot of good teams. There's some amazing talent, super players out here. So you have to be on your A game.
Yeah.
And I think the 4 of us are up for the challenge and feeling ready to go.
That's awesome. I know it's super hot. I'm going to let Mike ask a couple, and then I'll let you go.
Nice and cool.
Oh, yeah, you're going to fly.
Yeah.
That's great for you.
Can you remember the first conversation you had with Bryson about the crank driver?
I actually was there with him on the range when he took it out of the plastic wrapping on Wednesday morning because, believe it or not, that's when he first hit it last week. So he'd obviously done all his research, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but he was convinced that it was going to be good for him, and he was right.
How crazy is it to stick a new club in the bag?
Not crazy at all.
Shoot 61,
No,
58.
not crazy at all. Actually, that's something that happens a lot in golf. Yeah, because we're golf. Everyone says it's in between the years, and sometimes you find a club that just makes you feel like, oh man, I'm king of the jungle. I can do whatever I want. Sometimes it's a brand new putter, and you've been putting poorly, and you see 3-4 go in, and you're like, oh, I can't miss with this putter, and it's a mental thing. And it's very similar with Bryson. Like, he talked about how his mental game's the best it's been is because he trusts himself more, because he knows his equipment supports him. And that's what, you flip that switch and everything starts going your way. So, yeah, it happens a lot in golf, so I'm not surprised at all.
And given how much of a needle mover he is from an equipment standpoint, how much of an impact do you think it's going to have with this company that is making it?
Well, time will tell. Time will tell. But, yeah, I think if he keeps shooting the kind of scores he's shooting, it'll be fantastic. You got it.
Thank you, Vaughn. I appreciate it.
No worries.